Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at XRP. So there's a million different altcoins we could talk about, and probably more interesting ones than this. But for some reason, I always gravitate back to XRP, and I can tell, to be honest, I know why. I like coins which are old, alright? I like a mature chart, and because all indicators are based around volume, price, and time, you know, the older the chart, the better. The older the coin's been around, the better the read, the more reliable it is to work out what is going on and where to enter, or what kind of behavior that token or asset, whatever it is that you're trading, exhibits. And there's always something very clear to me, which is that, and I say it every time we do this, I say XRP and the 200 Exponential are best friends. All right, they're really good mates. They can't spend too far apart from each other. It doesn't matter how far the price goes. You know, each one of these pumps, it always comes down to that 200 Exponential. It's fate. All right, it has to happen. So this is prophecy fulfilled. But don't get complacent, because those who watch my videos, they know that I've been saying this for a long time. I said it when we launched up here. I said, don't worry, it'll come down, it'll touch here again. And obviously, you know, it did, and it actually broke down with the help of SEC. And then I said it again here. I said, look, we'll get the chance again. You will get that chance again. Don't worry, it will come down to the 200 Exponential. And here we go. So as of yesterday, we didn't just touch it, we wicked right below it. We've been brought back up, we closed above it, and we're closing above it again. So this isn't particularly an entry point, so don't get me wrong. You know, I knew that we were going to come down here at some point. It was always going to be the case, and now we're here. So what do? Well, you don't go crazy on it. That's the first thing you do. If we think about how this has behaved, and the way that it always likes to behave, is that this is where bull market started for XRP. None of this was bull market. You know, the whole area of 2019 didn't do anything for XRP. It wasn't ready for that. Bull market began when we broke out of this into this accumulation phase down here, and this is where we got excited, and this is where we were buying the majority of the coins up. So we had our first run, and again, this is the initial bull market area for XRP. This is when it began its bull market. And if you watch my market cycle video on XRP, it spends 3 years consolidating from an all-time high, and then more or less just a final year or just thereabouts, maybe 18 months at best, in either an accumulation or a bull market. So the reason I'm boring you to death about it is that we had our first run here. We came back down, crashing back down to the 200 Exponential. These moves don't look like much, but they are. If we think about the top over here to a pullback of 33%, you know, XRP was not really no one cared about it apart from me. 87% move, so that was not a bad move, you know, from the original one. Came back down in good style to reaccumulate around that 200 Exponential. We spent quite a fair period of time on that 200 Exponential on this occasion, giving us plenty of time to get ready for it. And again, the majority of people talking about how XRP is rubbish, man. It only did 87% move. Everything else has been going up since forever, and XRP is just I said, yeah, don't worry. You know, if you know, I'm not saying I'm right or anything, but I mean, one of the main reasons XRP is good is because it's a diversifier of your portfolio. It wouldn't have been good to be buying it all the way down, but it would be good to be buying it around here now that it's started its bull market phase. And obviously, you know, I've been making these videos since here, really. This is where I started making the XRP videos, and it's become more evident that actually what I was referring to is true. So, and again, I'm not boasting or anything. It's just about me making these trades, and I'm not telling anybody to do anything. It's just how it, you know, this is how it was always going to be. And I made a video about the XRP market cycle before we even came into the accumulation zone, before there was ever any pumps, and I said that this is likely the way it's going to be for XRP. And the time to be excited would be May, right? So now we're in May. And again, market cycles of this size, you know, 4 years, you know, you can't nail it down to the exact time frame, but now is roughly the time to start to get excited. All of these moves actually were a little bit earlier than I expected, but they're still very much in keeping with my original analysis, and I'll stick to it. So all my XRP is basically bought here, and a little bit more bought here, and I have been trading it, but generally most of it is just bought here and here. And I've been thinking that maybe I might actually buy some more, but just because we've revisited the 200 like we do every time, revisit it, accumulate, bang, revisit it, reaccumulate, I suppose below it with the help of SEC, the FUD, massive big move up, back down to it. we should have time to reaccumulate, especially with the market being the way that it is. Everything, you could say, well, XRP could have mooned. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, XRP could have mooned. If it wasn't for SEC, XRP could... Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're living in a simulated reality, or I don't know. But whether it was SEC or China or Bitcoin or... I don't know who brought it down. The prophecy has been fulfilled. It is what it is, all right? And it was always going to be. And I get messages all the time when XRP is mooning, and people start watching my videos on XRP going, when's the good time to buy? Well, you've missed it. You don't be buying it up here. You don't be buying it up here. You don't be buying it up here. You buy it when it reaccumulates around the 200 exponential. And again, we have plenty of time on this occasion. This time was essentially, worse because SEC nudged it down. But again, prophecy fulfilled. This time, yeah, Bitcoin and the market has corrected. But again, prophecy fulfilled. So what are we going to do now? We're just going to wait. I'm sorry, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to wait. We are going to have to wait because, first of all, this white line is the below the overall general macro accumulation period from the parabolic high down to the absolute low, and this is where the bottom level of the Fib retracement would be. So being below here is no place to be, but being above here is certainly a nice place to be. So there's no trading range. There's nothing going on here, and we do have to wait to see what the rest of the market wants to do. And again, if you want to catch a knife, this is a knife catching zone. Personally, I'm not much of a knife catcher. I did buy some yesterday, just because I suppose I'm contradicting myself. But I just felt like it would be rude not to. But I am, I would be, I would not complain if we saw further downside on this one, because the market is very much hanging in the balance of Bitcoin. And even though Bitcoin looks to me like it could potentially be forming a bottom kind of range at this zone, it may not be. The bottom might fall out of it. The market technically could go into a major correction from the level that we are at right now. That would bring XRP all the way down to potentially the lower versions of these accumulation periods, 30 cents, 25 cents. It's all on the cards. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is a buy this because it's prophecy fulfilled. The prophecy suggests that this is an accumulation zone. This is an accumulation zone. This is an accumulation zone. We've had a wick down to 65 cents. We've had a bounce the next day up to 87 cents. It's a zone. It's a zone. So this is all a zone, and do not expect to see massive returns from this immediately. Also, if we bear in mind what we're looking at on this chart here, we do have technically a bit of bearish setup going on the daily here with the Ichimoku cloud. That does lend itself to further continuation down, but it's not especially strong. It's not a strong breakdown from here all the way down. It doesn't suggest that, but it's not strength. Let's face it. There's no strength here. What we're looking at is a potential bottoming area and an accumulation area, and nothing to get too excited about. However, it's all about prophecy fulfilled, and all the people that send me messages and write comments about when XRP is moving, and they ask me where should I buy XRP, desperate to get involved in a move which is going crazy. Well, you buy before the move goes crazy, and that's the be all and end all, isn't it, really? But the market being the way that it is, we have to wait. If you really want to play it safe, you'll have to wait. But we are at that 200 exponential, and there's no reason why we can't dip below it and above it and below it and above it, because that's what accumulation is. It's not an exact figure, it's a zone. We came down to it, held above it, broke below it, up above it. All these moving averages merging to one, above them, below them, above them, below them, above them, and a parabolic move. Below them, above them, below them, above, below. You get the feel, you get the picture. Accumulation isn't easy. Sometimes you could be accumulating in a range of 100%, and that is what it is. There's no trend, there's no strength, there's no anything. It just gives you a rough idea of a zone which is, over time should accumulate and then go up to a higher level. But it doesn't mean that you can't experience significant pain in the short term, especially if we're talking about a range potentially, even if we're thinking about where we're rejected from today, which was and is the top of the accumulation period on the macro scale, to a potential 25% pullback to where that wick was. And again, if this breaks down with Bitcoin and the market breaks down further, I would be thinking we would be coming back down to test these kind of zones as well, which would be a 63% downside to where we are at right now. But if we think about my overall targets, which is roughly about $4, from where we are at right now, we are talking of a 371% move. So significant downside, significant upside. Risk to reward is just about okay, but again, catching knives, that's up to you. It's generally not my thing, but I felt it was a little rude not to pick some up yesterday, given the fact that my analysis has been so persistent on the performance of XRP, and my overall targets are very much long term, as in like another 7 or 8 months or so before we reach that peak. Lots can happen in that, including lots of downside and lots of upside. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. There's nothing a great deal more to say about it apart from prophecy fulfilled. Take it easy, everyone.